What was an underrated movie or show that you watched in 2022?
For me, it was The Hustle with Adam Sandler, um, where he plays a NBA scout and
Oh
then
yeah,
goes. He gets fired and then goes and starts scouting up in Europe, and then finds I forget the character's name, but it was Juancho Hernan Gomez, who's a basketball player. He's up with the Toronto Raptors. By the way, if it's going to be interesting to see that guy, see if he can get into acting because he did a really good job. But for me, that was the movie that was pretty underrated on Netflix. We've seen Adam Sandler as a comedian. He's starting to make that transition to be more of a serious actor. He did a Lunch Punch Drunk, which was a really good movie back in the day. And then since he signed on to Netflix, we haven't seen him do he's kind of had like kind of garbage movies on Netflix, but
How
this
dare you? Hubie Halloween was excellent.
No, it wasn't.
no, the one with
the,
Jennifer Aniston, the movie mystery one was good.
Yeah, I like that
oh,
one.
okay.
Man.
Haters,
Yeah,
haters.
so he's yeah, yeah.
I'm
Especially after
Hubie.
he came out with like
Hubie.
five movies that made over 100 million at the box office when he started his career. So, and then since he's moved to Netflix, he hasn't had the same success. He did Uncut Gems, but it was for someone else.
I didn't like that
So
one.
yeah, that one was really intense. So
Weird.
yeah,
Weird.
so for me, it was The Hustle.
San Diego, you go next.
Let me grab a flashlight.
It's pretty good.
How we always had a flashlight and a thermostat.
Look
Just
at your
real
new
quick,
bus driver.
Is that little Nicky?
a little mix, right? Just real
Yeah.
quick, I think for me, it's gonna be Smile. If you're into horror, I loved. I thought it was one of the best horror films. I've
Horrors
seen.
or horror?
Frown, please, not your degeneracy. I
Come
don't want to
on,
hear
jeez,
about
what
it.
kind of
Thank
show
you.
is this?
I thought it was a really good horror film. It had a really good storyline and everything else. Didn't rely on jump scares. The other one, if you're a history buff, All Quiet on the Western Front. I know it's a foreign film, so people don't like watching that stuff, but All Quiet on the Western Front was really good also.
Gilbert.
Yeah, for me, I'm going with the show, and I'll credit Victor on this one. Severance, and it's a show on Apple TV, which I feel like Apple TV doesn't get a lot of attention. So maybe this is why this show is underrated. It has a lot of really good reviews. What? I don't know what you're laughing at, but
Don't let him butter you up. Don't let him butter you up, Vic. He's trying to get you
anyways,
to click the
but
book.
this is where I'm gonna take a shot at Victor. He recommended the show, and then I hated the first 2 episodes, and I stopped watching for a couple weeks. But then with Severance, it's kind of like word of mouth. Like you don't see a lot of promos, you don't see social media talking about it. And again, Apple TV it's not really up there with Netflix and HBO. But then somebody else tells me you should watch it. I'm like, Victor did tell me to watch it, so I went another 2 episodes. Boring. Another person tells me you should keep watching. It's like, all right, fine. So it took me 3 months, but I'm finally at the last episode. I want to say after the 5th episode, you're trying to watch Severance, stick it out. It gets really good. 6, 7, and 8, 9. I was hooked. It just really boring. But I think you need that story dialogue to kind of know what the hell is going on. Be patient. I'm not a patient person. Again, the microwave era, all that. But
We've seen.
Severance is really
Apologize to
good.
Staley
Stick it
for
out.
that and his defense.
All right.
Apologize.
Mine was
I gave him
Batman.
credit already. Anyways.
I actually thought the Batman film was actually pretty good.
Oh, that's yours.
Yeah, so I thought the Batman movie was pretty good. The second time I watched it, for people who say I fell asleep during the first time I watched it, the second time, I thought it was pretty well done. I thought they deserve a lot of credit. I think DC moving forward should integrate this in some way, but they look like they're firing everybody left and right. So that's pretty interesting. All right, so obviously it was reported last week, God Almighty, that Gal Gadot is set to return and Fast and the Furious franchise after they killed her off. Now we don't know if they're bringing her back as like a
Force Ghost.
We know
A Force
like,
Ghost bimbo.
Yeah, no. They could bringing her back as like a memory of her doing something. But the way this franchise operates, obviously they brought back Han, so obviously now they want Gal Gadot back, so she's gonna come back. Who is a character from a movie or show that you guys saw killed off and you were happy when they brought him back, Vic?
For me, it's Game of Thrones, Jon Snow, man. After season 5, everybody was freaking out because, like, how are you gonna, and we knew in Game of Thrones that big characters get killed off. We knew that, but how are you gonna kill off Jon Snow? And of course, we find out at the beginning of season 6 that he gets brought back to life.
Spoiler.
And you know, we find out what happens the rest of the time. So yes, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, it's been out for
Bro,
10
still
years
been out
now.
for like
So
5 years.
Who
or
cares?
whatever.
yeah.
All right.
So there you go. Minus Jon Snow.
Dan.
I just want to take a second to just crap on this franchise.
Yes.
I think Fast and Furious is so dumb. at this
Hey,
point.
that's not what we're here for.
It is so
That's not what we're here
stupid.
for.
Now they're flying cars in space. In space.
I agree with
It's
you.
a
man.
movie.
So dumb.
I don't know what happened.
Go ahead.
It's terrible.
Come on, hurry up.
Terrible. Terrible. Terrible
Okay, well, go
franchise.
ahead. What's yours?
Fine. Here we go. Ready? I'm gonna pick I was about to say Gordon Bombay. What's his name? Detective Gordon in Dark Knight, where he gets supposedly killed and then he comes back and he arrests the Joker. And also, oh well, never mind. I'll take that one as my pick in case I'll pick the other one.
Wait. Send the other one in the chat so I know because I can't remember mine. Gilbert, go ahead.
I don't have one. This is one of my biggest annoying thing of movies and shows. You always kill somebody off and they always bring them back. Like, it's so dumb. It's been done previous times. So, and it's always funny how they try to find creative ways. Some people get creative. Like, okay, cool. I didn't see that coming. But most of them are pretty dumb. They come back to life. I don't have one. I'm sorry. But I did watch that movie. I haven't seen the first one, so I did it out of order. Knives Out, Victor. I watched that on Netflix. There was something in that similar in the movie, and I would find it really annoying when they bring people back. Check it out.
What about Kenny from South Park? You had Brian, the dog from Family Guy.
You
None of
know
those.
what,
I don't really watch those much. I'm
I'm
gonna go.
Happiness.
I'm gonna go with Batman and Dark Knight Rises. I think he's all dead. He's off somewhere. He comes back to life, and the what's it called? The Bane goes, "I thought I killed you." He's like, "You think you're the only one that can escape?" But I didn't escape. Boom! The knife gets drug into the side by whatever her name is, Talia Al Ghul. All right. Now let's kick.
One more. I need
one
this
more.
one.
Okay. When is the proper time to take down your Christmas lights and your Christmas tree, Vic?
For me, it's the first week of the new year. Like after that first weekend, you better have your Christmas tree and lights down.
Gilbert?
I'm more leaning here. People get busy and you get lazy when you come back from the holidays. Middle of January, but then you're pushing it. Middle of January. But real quick, if you see me on the street and it's January 4th, don't tell me Happy New Year. Move on. I'll punch you in the neck. Don't tell me that.
I want to see that. Somebody do it. Somebody please do it.
No.
Rams Chargers isn't January 4th.
I know.
Yeah, you can tell me that. You can tell me that day. It's okay.
Oh, well, Vic being the Christmas secret police is not going to be happy with me. I seriously, my grandpa had this tradition always where it didn't come down till after the Super Bowl. Huh?
Damn.
It was grandma that would have it up.
Whoever it was then.
Super Bowl?
It never came down till after the Super Bowl.
My grandma thought that the Super Bowl deserved its own celebration as well, so she would keep
exactly.
Not outside. Outside. She wasn't crazy. Inside the house, it was still decorated at Christmas till the Super Bowl. After the Super Bowl, she's like, "Okay, take everything down."
I would be annoyed probably.
That's probably gonna be my tradition. If I do decorate for Christmas. After the Super Bowl is when we're taking everything.
Don't invite me to your house in February. If I see that, I'm gonna be so pissed.
You know what? I'm gonna make sure your ass is there. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna get your ass there one of these days.
I'm kind of like Dan in a sense, just because like I mean that's what we grew up with. My grandma would always do that. The Super Bowl was so big in our house that obviously she wanted to keep it up. But I'm with Vic. The first week of January is kind of like, okay, let's get this stuff out of the way. Let's get it cleaned up. Back to reality. Boom. But all right. Speaking of back to reality. Goodbye, Vic. Goodbye, Dan.